I rise today to speak on the Tribhuvan Sahakari University Bill 2025, a proposal that carries the seeds of promise but also the shadows of uncertainty. As a Member of Parliament from Telangana Warangal, a land steeped in the struggles and trumps of the farmers, artisans and cooperative workers, I approach this bill with both hope and caution. My duty is to ensure that the voices of my people, the backbone of Telangana's rural economy, are not just heard but heeded. The creation of the Tribhuvan Sahakari University in Anand, Gujarat as a national institution for cooperative education is a step that, on paper, inspires optimism. Warangal knows the power of cooperatives. Our dairy farmers, our women self-help groups, our small-scale producers, they have kept our rural economy alive through sheer grit and collective effort. The promise of technical training, management skills and cutting-edge research could modernize these institutions, making them engines of prosperity. Sanskar se Samriddhi, prosperity through cooperation, is a slogan that echoes in the fields of Telangana, where unity has always been our strength. But, Honourable Speaker, as an opposition representative, I must ask the hard questions. Will this university truly serve the farmers, students, artisans, unemployed youth of Telangana, or will it remain a distant dream confined to Gujarat's borders? The bill elevates the Institute of Rural Management, Anand, into a university, a commendable move. Yet, IRM's history has often leaned toward urban elites and corporate partnerships. How will it adapt to the realities of rural India, where illiteracy, poor infrastructure and financial fragility define the cooperative landscape? I fear that without deliberate effort, this institution risks becoming a privilege for the few rather than a lifeline for the many. Take Warangal as an example. Our cooperatives are not just economic units, they are lifelines for scheduled caste families, for women who stitch hope into every product, for youth who dream beyond the plough. These people need more than a university in Gujarat. They need accessible education, affordable programs, and training that reaches their doorstep. I propose that the government consider satellite campuses or mobile training units in states like Telangana. Why should a farmer's son from Telangana travel hundreds of miles for skills he could learn closer to home? The bill's focus on capacity building for cooperative employees is a step forward. But where is the urgency? In Telangana, cooperatives are crumbling under outdated practices and inadequate funding. Last year, I met a dairy cooperative manager in Warangal who had not received training in a decade. How long will he wait for this university's benefits? I urge an amendment, a 5-year action plan with clear targets. Train 50% of rural cooperative workers, establish 10 regional hubs, and measure the impact on production and incomes. Without timelines and accountability, this bill risks being another grand announcement lost to bureaucratic delays. Honourable Speaker, Madam, Warangal's Kakatiya legacy teaches us that true strength lies in collective progress, not hollow promises. I support the bill's intent, but I cannot ignore its gaps. The government must ensure it does not favor corporate gains over small farmers or urban centers over rural hamlets. Let us make this university a beacon of equity, one that lifts the poorest, empowers the marginalized, and honors the cooperative spirit that defines India. In closing, the Tribhuvan Sahakari University Bill 2025 can be a turning point, but only if we refine it. I call on this House to demand accessibility, inclusivity, and transparency in its rollout. Warangal watches, Telangana waits, and India deserves a bill that delivers. Let us rise to the occasion. Thank you, Madam.